Welcome on in, football fans. It's time for another Monday recap show. Let's see how we did this last weekend in college and in NFL. Finally, week one is done. Go ahead and visit thebetlocker.com. That's where all of our picks are, our DFS cheat sheets, everything like that. And become a member in our Discord. That does come with your membership. You're going to want to jump on that. We gave 4 extra winners away in the Discord alone this weekend. But let's go ahead and dive in. All right, guys, let's dive in. I hope everyone had a good weekend. I know we sure did. Watched football literally from Saturday morning at 10 a.m. till Sunday night at 10 p.m. So, what an eventful weekend. What a stressful weekend. Before I dive in, I want to start with this little scroll right here. Join our Discord. When you become a member here at the BetLocker, you get invited and you get to become a member of our Discord. We gave away 4 extra picks in there that won. So Saturday, Oregon, they ended up covering late night get back games, BYU and Arizona. All of them crushed. And so all of those won. And then we also gave away yesterday, or our member did, and we backed it. It was the Niners. So Discord is everything. All like brains, talking about bets, talking about DraftKings DFS, how our lineups look, who should I switch out, who you guys liking today? Oh, I just heard this guy was injured. Let's take this team. Everything. So that is the best place to be. So become a member now, get our picks, get our cheat sheets, and you'll become a member of our Discord and you'll make even more money. This weekend was proof of that. 4 extra winners. But yeah, let's dive in. College. Let's start with college. Let's get those out of the way first. So our free picks in college. Kansas plus 6.5. If you guys watched that game, I watched every second of it. Kansas was literally leading the entire game. I can go down the stats. I can tell you why we chose them. You can pause right here. Jalen Daniels was on fire the first 2 games. He was on fire this game. They were literally up the entire game. And then literally within the blink of an eye, Missouri scores, and then they run a 70-yard touchdown run, just a wide open lane, 70-yarder for the touchdown, for the garbage cover with a minute and a half left. That was disgusting. Then let's move over here. Locker picks. No, let's go gut picks for college first. Ole Miss leading the entire game, then kick a field goal to go up by 10 to be covering. And with 8 seconds left, I can't remember who, I don't even care. Oh, Kentucky. They were playing Kentucky. They kick the field goal with 8 seconds left to go down by 7. So in that way they can get the onside kick and then they can maybe have a chance at the touchdown. Garbage time field goal, 8 seconds left. They go down by 7 to not cover. Disgusting. Those 2 should have been wins. Hands down, they were winners. They should have been. But that's college. Crazy things happen in college, and it is the most unpredictable sport. I'll tell you a quick story. One time I had Georgia. This was a good part rather than a bad part. One time I took Georgia. They were whatever. Long story short, they needed a touchdown to cover. I was counting it off. I turned it off. Then all of a sudden, my account got credited. About 30 minutes later, I was shocked and stunned. Turned on the highlights, and they needed that touchdown. They were on defense. Well, the offensive running back fumbled. Georgia recovered. And instead, I remember what it was. They were already up and winning. Georgia was. They needed another touchdown to get me the cover for like minus 10 or minus 12, whatever it was. And they were up by 7. Instead of the guy going down with 10 seconds left and just ending the game, he ran it back all the way to the house to go up by 2 touchdowns and get the cover for Georgia. So I bring that up because things like that happen all the time in college, it seems. It is insane. It doesn't matter. They're going for the kill. They're going for the jugular. Another takeaway from from Saturday is those scary lines. So when you see minus 33, minus 48, minus 50, the easiest thing, and the books know this, the easiest thing is to take the plus 50. I mean, everyone and their dog is going to be like, well, duh. Of course, the team, they're still a college team. They can keep it within 50. No, they cannot. Let me run down the list for you. Indiana minus 35.5 covered. Florida State minus 46.5. They won 77-3. Let's keep going. The only one that didn't was Penn State. They only won 34-0 and they didn't cover. Oh no, poor them. Minnesota minus 42.5 cover. They won 66-0. Texas Tech. Oh, they didn't cover. They won 62-14, but they didn't cover because it was plus 48.5. So that might be one of the only other ones. But I gotta tell you the rest of this list. I wish I could show you guys. I didn't pull up the screen beforehand, but oh well. Clemson, we'll get to that one. I took them as a daily pick. They didn't cover, whatever. Oh, I guess I won't have that, but took them as a daily pick. They didn't cover, and it's just because they got off to a slow start. So Ohio State minus 54.5. They won 70-0. Tennessee minus 41. They won 72-17. Let's see who else here. Oregon minus 28.5. They won 69-3. Pick in the Discord. OG Sharp knew the Oregon coach, the Oklahoma State coach was talking shit. Oregon wanted to run up that score, and they did. Shouted it out at 9 a.m. Easy cover. Become a member in the Discord. That's what you get. Let's see. I know there's a couple more in here. Maybe it covered them all. Utah, minus 42.5. They won 63-9. What else do we got here? Miami did not cover. They only won 45-3. So my point is, crazy things happen in college. More crazy things happen in college than NFL because they are not professionals and they're kids. They want to kill people. Alabama, minus 34.5. They covered 73-0. Nebraska, minus 33.5. They won 68-0. Just unpredictable things happen. This one, I mean, that does happen in the NFL, but I mean, a field goal with 8 seconds left rather than just going for the touchdown when you're on the whatever yard line, 15-yard line. Come on. Like, it just happens, and it can be beneficial in your way one week, and then it can just all go against you the other week. It just happens, and that's why you have to have bankroll management. You have to limit your bets, especially if you don't feel good about something. Don't take anything, or take it very lightly. Whatever your unit count is, if it's $100 per unit, just take $25 to have action. I know we don't like watching football. If you're like me, I hate watching it unless I have action on it. So take smaller units, whatever, or just go with you're comfortable with, whatever the case may be. But college is very unpredictable. Let's go over to locker picks for college. So now I'm going to breeze through this because I want to get to the DFS cheat sheet. You could pause this if you want to read the write-ups. North Texas, slow start. They ended up winning in overtime, but they didn't cover because they started off so slow. So that was another hurtful one. And then dog of the day, though, that was a banger. So Johnny B had the call, and we called it out, and I watched it on College Game Day. Everything played out perfectly. So USF, all those players, or a lot of them, they got declined from Florida. So they had extra incentive. They wanted to kill these guys because Florida didn't want these players. So they're going into Florida and be like, okay, you guys don't want us. We want to kill you then. And their defensive line, they got so good at defensive line. So that call was awesome. They ended up winning outright. If you take them money line, if you had the balls to do that, big money there. So, anyways, let's go over to, so that was great. So what's that put us at? I mean, 1-4 with these daily picks. I mean, like I said, it really should have been. Those other two plays should have won. We did win James Madison as a daily on Friday night, so that was great. And then we did give 3 extra winners on Saturday in the Discord. So, I mean, if you put them all together, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 and 3, right? 1, 2, 3 losers, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5. So if you put them all together with Discord, that's 5 and 3. That's good. I mean, but if you don't, if you're just looking at a small sample scale, that's 1 and 4. I get it. That puts us at 6 and 4 overall for these picks for the last 3 weeks. So still profitable. That's great. Can guarantee you we're going to be working our ass off this week to get those locks in. So that's all that it does for us here at the Bet Locker. It motivates us even harder if one, especially if our lock loses. Oh, you guarantee I'm going to be studying night and day to get that winner next week. So that's college. Let's go over to NFL because I want to, like I said, I want to get to the cheat sheet because I had a lot of good guys on there, just like always. Free picks in NFL. Win one, lose one. Kansas City Chiefs, Friday night. I truly thought their defense would keep them in it more, but their secondary looked atrocious. I don't know what looked better. I don't know what won the game, I guess. The Chargers? Did the Chargers win because they're so amazing and all of a sudden their offense is crazy great again because they got Keenan Allen and Omari and Hampton? Or did the Chiefs just look so bad in the secondary? I think it's a little bit of both. I think the offense looked a lot better than I thought it was going to, and the Chiefs defense did not look like the Chiefs defense of old. So you can guarantee Spagnuolo is going to be working them hard this week. They got the Eagles coming up. Eagles didn't pass the ball once. They passed it once to AJ Brown. So if the Chiefs don't improve their secondary this next week against the Eagles, who I think is going to be pass heavy instead of run heavy now, they are in trouble again, and they could start 0-2. Rams, easy win. I mean, a little bit of scary. Puka almost went out. They came back in. Houston had a chance at the end, but just like we said, the O-line for Houston looked horrible, and the Rams were getting to Stroud a lot. So that felt like an easy win there. Let's go to the daily picks for today. Well, yesterday. It was the Dolphins. Who saw that coming? Daniel Jones and scored. I saw a stat when I was watching Red Zone. Daniel Jones scored on every single drive, all 7. That has not happened in this decade. Not even Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, no one. When they've had 7 possessions and driving whatever drives, he scored on every single one of them, and that hasn't happened. Usually there is some type of turnover or no score. So I don't know. I mean, that's the same thing. Same thing as the Chiefs and Chargers. Were the Colts that good, or were the Dolphins just playing that bad? I think a little bit of both again. I think Daniel Jones has a better offense to play, and they might let him play a little bit more freely here at the Colts, and their defense looks a little bit better than what people thought. And I think the Dolphins just played like shit. They were getting to Tua a lot. He was panic throwing. He wasn't throwing to Tyreek Hill, and they have a lot of making up to do this week too. So that one lost. But then the other one last night, oh baby, Josh Allen. You know, everyone was wondering why I drafted Josh Allen so early in my fantasy league, and I'll tell you why. Because of 40 points last night and the game-winning drives, the last one to go down by only 1 touchdown, get the ball back, get into field goal range. Dude's a monster. Lamar Jackson is, yeah, okay. But all I heard all week was how they're already won the Super Bowl and how they're the best team. And yeah, Derrick Henry looked great. But like Lamar Jackson in the fourth quarter did nothing. And that's what they always talk about. He should be MVP every year. It's like he did absolutely nothing in the fourth quarter. Check me if I'm wrong. Roast me in the comments. I don't care. The Bills looked incredible down the stretch. So that was such an emotional, awesome win to watch. Like, I loved every second of it. Loved being right. Everyone was just going against me with the Ravens. And That moves Josh Allen 6-0 at home when he is the dog. So awesome daily pick there too. Let's go to the locker picks. My lock of the day, Detroit Lions. Same thing. Their offense looked shitty. I thought their offensive coordinator would be doing, their new offensive coordinator, can't remember his name right now. I thought he'd be doing just fine. He didn't. And they looked atrocious. And as soon as it started and as soon as I started watching, it felt like a trap game. I was like, okay, I know exactly why the Packers were favored now. Like, no one talked about the Lions. Everyone just wrote them off, and they looked pretty bad. So they're going to have to tell that offensive coordinator and look at tapes from last year and remember why they're one of the most explosive offensive teams in the league, because they sure didn't look like it yesterday. And Green Bay looked pretty good. I was shocked of how many touchdowns they scored with no receivers. So, oh well there, I guess. Swap these two plays. The Arizona Cardinals 0-1. So that was great. Same thing again. They almost blew it at the end, but then they got the cover. So pretty fun there. I think that's it. Oh, gut picks. Gut picks. I won my gut pick too. Tampa Bay Bucks -1.5. Bingo. Also looking scary at the end. Did not matter. Tampa Bay Bucks -1.5. And you just never count Baker Mayfield out. If there is one, I don't have favorite teams. I don't have technically favorite players, but if there is two players that I love more than anything, or if I do have favorite players, it is two as follows. It is Baker Mayfield the third, because he's always playing with a chip on his shoulder. He gets cut by teams, and he always, he comes back with a vengeance, and I just love every bit of that. I love when he plays like a dog. I love like, oh, you're counting me out? I'll show you. I just love that mentality. Another guy that has that if you watch Netflix any given Saturday for the college, which was awesome, kind of like it's kind of like Hard Knocks for college, which is, I loved it, is the quarterback for Vanderbilt. And his name is, I can't remember his name now. Let me look it up. Anyways, while I'm looking it up here, if I had two favorite players, it's definitely Baker Mayfield and the quarterback for Vanderbilt, which is Diego Pavia. He plays the exact same way. He has the same exact mentality. Go watch any given Saturday on Netflix. It is awesome, and you'll see why I love this quarterback. But anyways, Tampa Bay Bucks in an arena, no weather to deal with. They are the better team. They showed that. I mean, you could say that, Falcons looked okay. They did. Bijan looked great, but Bucks as a whole looked way better. So that's it on picks. How'd I do on picks? I won my gut, went 1-1 in the free picks. So that's 2-1. Went 1-1 in the locker picks. So that's 3-2. And then I won that. So 4-3. Is that right? Let's see. I went 1-1, 2-1, 2-1, 3-2, and 4-3. I went 4-3, profitable. So, but if you pick and choose what you want, if you stay away from parlays, which I'll make a video for that later, then you would be in business. You'd be up money this weekend. So let's get over to the DFS cheat sheet. How am I doing on time? We're doing just fine. So, okay, DFS cheat sheet. Here it is in all its glory. I gave some previews. I wanted to promote it. I know a lot of you are new to DraftKings, new to daily fantasy sports. Maybe you play FanDuel. I don't really like FanDuel. I like DraftKings. Much bigger contests, much bigger aesthetically pleasing. Much easier to deposit and withdraw. The other one's fine too. FanDuel Sportsbook, I heard, is really great from a buddy. So if you're in a sport or in a state that can do that, I heard that's awesome. So maybe use them for the sportsbook side. Use DraftKings, because that's all I'm going to be using. That's the only spreadsheet and the only ownership projections I'm set up for is DraftKings. So, but I rarely know anyone that plays FanDuel over DraftKings for DFS. But let's break this down. So Jaden Daniels did just fine. think I'm going to add emojis and stuff on this, so it's more like I can show you who was on fire and who sucked. Maybe next week I'll add that. But let me just throw this out there, and this goes for a whole. And those of you who have stuck around for until the end to look at the cheat sheet, thank you so much. Please like, please subscribe. It does help. I'm doing everything I can every single week to get you the best content and the best picks and the best cheat sheet, because I want to use them too to win, and I do use them also. And I want to win you guys money too as well. So let me go to everyone. Okay, so by position, I am going through the ownership and what they got in points. So, excuse me. So, Jane Daniels, 8%. Football's pretty easy to do projections for DraftKings. You can get usually within 1% to 2% of everyone. Sometimes there's guys that are way off, but it depends on the contest you're playing. So, like, week one's always so unpredictable. I only max out the big $3 contest. So I have 20 entries, $60. That's it. Just because I want to see how the players are doing. And I made like my entry fees plus a quarterback. So it wasn't that much. But the most important thing is week one is so unpredictable. You don't know how teams are going to look. You don't want to go hog wild. Now, on the flip side, if you do go hog wild, then and you do get it right, you can be ahead of a lot of people, because a lot of people don't know what's going to be happening because it's week one. You don't know who is playing whatever. So, anyways, Jaden Daniel did okay, 8% owned, 20 points, did fine, wasn't in the winning lineup for the Millie Maker. Kyler Murray did great. I had a lot of Kyler Murray stacks. Those were my biggest cashers. He was 4% owned and 18 points. Perfect. Baker Mayfield, he was another casher, or two cashers. I had him stacked. 22 points and 11% owned. That was a lot higher than I thought. I thought he was only going to be about 7% owned. So a lot of people jumped on him Saturday into Sunday morning. Then he dropped down here in my under 10% owned GPPs. Drake May, I had a really good lineup with Drake May. He was 4.9% owned. So there you go. He was under 10%. And Tua sucked. He crushed us. What did he have? He only had 8 points. He was 5% owned. Got that spot on. If he does anything, he does great. So running backs, James Conner, he kind of underperformed. I was really high on him, but so was everyone else right at the very end. So he didn't really do much, anything crazy. Jonathan Taylor, he underperformed. He only had, 12 points. So it's just because Daniel Jones was running everything in. Now next week, if you jump on Jonathan Taylor, he might have 30. No one will have him. Bingo, there you go. Christian McCaffrey did great. He was the second highest running back behind Bijan. 23 points. Bingo. T. McMillan, don't know how to say his first name. I'll get that down later. He did pretty damn good. Let's see. 11 points. 5 receptions, 68 receiving yards. So he didn't do great. Jamar Chase underperformed. Everyone had him. Everyone got killed by him. If you dodged him, you did great. Mecca Buka, he did great. So that was a good call. Brian Thomas, he had a touchdown, did okay. Trey McBride, you stacked him with Kyler Murray, did great. George Kittle went out with an injury after his touchdown, so he did okay, but he went out with an injury, so that sucked. So that's our tops. And then our bottoms did a lot better. The only guy that didn't do good was Austin Eckler. He's listed as the starter. They barely ran him. They ran Krosky Merritt, the guy that they drafted. They call him Bill or Bob or something is when I was watching Red Zone. I don't know. All these guys did end up less than 7% owned, so that was awesome. Besides Jahmyr Gibbs, everyone jumped on him late and he got to 13%. So he was at 8%. I had him projected at. He got to 13%. So that's okay. That's going to happen. Ricky Pearsall did great. Jackson Smith Najigba. Everyone was roasting me in the comments in my TikTok and saying like, oh yeah, I guess Cooper Kupp doesn't exist, because I said Jackson Smith is the only guy that they have to throw to. He crushed him, and he got 20. He was the third highest receiver of the day, and with 23 points, and he was only 7% owned. So, and let's see how Cooper Kupp did compared to that. And hopefully you guys in my TikTok will come back and get my cheat sheet later because it looks like you guys need it. So Jackson Smith was third highest for the day. And let's see how Cooper Kupp did. So Jackson Smith and Jigba got 23 fantasy points on DraftKings. Oh my gosh, I got to scroll really far for Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp got 3 points. He got 2 receptions for 15 yards. So yeah, looks like he's a really good backup. Looks like, yeah, rest in peace, Kupp. And yeah, so don't doubt that, guys. I know it's week 1, but I mean, you still know who the first place guys are on every team. And now we know who the sleeper guys are on every team. So now we have an even better look for next week. Stacks were money. And look who our Hail Mary stacks were. Thank you very much, Daniel Jones. And thank you very much, Joe Flacco, who happened to be he was down there, but he had some let's see, I can look up 290 passing yards, 1 touchdown. If he didn't have those interceptions, or if he had 10 more passing yards, he gets the 300-yard bonus. So that would have got you into middle of the cash. So that's great. Colts was awesome. Kyler Murray, I had 3 cashers with him. Baker, I had 3 cashers with him, even though Evans sucked. Ibuka saved us. So those stacks were great. I ended up throwing in, so let me tell you the winning lineup real quick for the Millie Maker before we get going here. The winning lineup, and this is why week 1 is impossible to do. Quarterback, Justin Fields. Running back, Bijan Robinson. We had him a bunch. We don't have him on here. I ended up taking him because I saw his projections. I ran his projections before, and then I saw his ownership kind of dip. So then I jumped on him a little bit at the very end. I wish I could put this out late, but I need you guys to have time to put your lineups in. So that's why you need to become a member in our Discord, because I also threw him in the Discord as well. So Devon Achane. So anyway, sorry. Winning lineup for $1 million off $5. Justin Fields quarterback, Bijan Robinson running back, Devon Achane running back. 3 wide receivers, Puka Nacua, Ricky Pearsall, Emeka Ibuka. Tight end, 0.8% owned of Juwan Johnson for the Saints. And then flex, Jackson Smith-Njigba. Everyone roasted me. He was in the $1 million lineup. And Broncos defense. So if you notice one thing there, and why I'm saying this is crazy, because it's been happening more and more. So maybe we need to keep our eye on it. This is where maybe you do more lineups with stacking and with randos. Randos is very hard though. So let me tell you, let me just explain why real quick. So for instance, this person, they didn't have a single stack. They had every single player was on a different team, right? So what that does is, and in baseball and in basketball, every sport, football especially, you are then trying to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 guys perfect on 9 separate teams. Okay. But if you do game stacking, if you go Kyler with Marvin Harrison, with Trey McBride, then then that eliminates 3 positions on one team if you think they're going to be huge high scoring. So now you only have to get 5 guys right on 5 other teams. So that's why stacking helps. Plus, if you do a bring back from the other side, so you do Kyler Murray, Marvin Harrison, Trey McBride, Alvin Kamara Alvin Kamara on the other side. Now you just filled up 4 of your 9 spots. And then with Kyler, Marvin, Trey, Alvin, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You got to get 5. But if you do 2, or if you have 2 wide receivers with the tight end and a bring back, then you only have to guess 4 spots in 4 different teams. So that's what I'm saying. That's why people stack, is because then you're pretty much trying to narrow it down on your DraftKings teams to only have to guess, one team right. Then you get a whole bunch of points from 3 to 4 positions. And then you only have to guess a little bit of amount for the other positions that you have to fill. So that's why it's so hard. And that's why these crazy teams sometimes win the $1,000,000. This person literally guessed every single person right. That was the highest score on 9 different teams. And that is hard. But I went through the list and this person did max out 150 entries. So that's great. I mean, if you have $750, just for this $5 and you do all the combinations, you still got to get the combinations right. And this person, that's a crazy lineup. So that's where maybe you max out, maybe you do 10 entries, you do 6 stacked teams, and then you do 4 crazy ones, whatever. But you either do more combinations, and you must do that in the GPP fields. And if you don't have the bankroll or if you don't have the money to do that, then just do single entry ones, because then it's just your best one lineup against the other guy's best lineup. And it doesn't have to be perfect, at least to cash. So that's my 2 cents today and moving on this week. And I'll be posting this Friday. I'll be working hard on my projections, working hard on the ownerships. So this will be coming out Friday again. And I promise you, we're going to have awesome lineups. And we already showed some awesome stacks in this one this week on the very unpredictable week 1. It gets easier from here. So anyways, that's it, guys. Message us for more. What a great weekend. What a great day in NFL yesterday. I know that, like I said, because of Discord, the weekend ended up being awesome profit. So become a member, get our picks, get our cheat sheets every week. Let's win on DraftKings, and let's get our same brains in the Discord when you become a member, and let's make some money. We'll see you next time, guys.